Hello the YouTubers, how's everybody doing today? In today's video is going to be how my grandfather clock is doing with 7 days without winding part 2. So without further ado, let's just get straight into how my grandfather clock is doing without 7 days without winding. So by the way, this again is my King Arthur grandfather clock. This is part 2 of how it has been doing with the 7 days without winding. Again, this is a 7-day movement, which means it has 7 days without needed to be wound. Um, then after the clock has not been rewound after 7 days, the weights will drop down to the bottom, and then after 1 week, the clock has been running. It'll have to be rewound once these weights reach the bottom. By the way, if you look, the weights are actually I believe the three of these weights have to go down equalize, like in one big straight line. Here, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. What I mean by that is that they all have to be in a perfect straight line, and I'll show you a little bit more what I mean. Here, I'll show you what I mean if I pull this chain like this. So let me just get this one more. Go up. Like perfectly in a straight line like that. Like the weight had to drop equalize in perfect timing. And not one weight must be a little bit higher than the other, and one weight must not be lower than the other weight. They have to be dropping equalized in a perfect straight line, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it properly, but I don't know if I am or not. I also have lost track of how many days this clock had without, like, since I last wound it. So I believe every Sunday or Monday I will wind the clock, by the way. Again, it really only chimes, on, you can only really hear it chime on the hour. I right now actually have it on Westminster. Again, my favorite one would be the St. Michael and the Whittington, because if you notice on the quarter past hour with the Whittington and the St. Michael is that they both have the same melody on the quarter past hour on the 3. And if you look really close, you can see the minute hand moving slowly up. But if it was on this side, you would, like, by in between the 1, 2, 3, 4, and between the 5 and the 6, you can really slowly see it moving down. And in between the 6 and the 7, 8, the 7 and the 8, and the 8 and the 9, and 9, the 10, and the 11, and the 12, you can see it slowly moving up if you look very closely. Again, the Whittington and the St. Michael's chime are my favorite. But for sure, the top favorite one would be the St. Michael's, because I believe it's the St. Michael's that is the loudest actually out of the 3, the Whittington's, St. Michael, and Westminster, and the quietest of all would be the Westminster chime. And the one that would be like in between the quietest and the loudest would be the Whittington. Excuse me, the Whittington chime. So the Whittington chime would be like a little bit quieter than the St. Michael's chime, but it's a little bit, maybe like 2-3 times quieter than the St. Michael's chime. But on the quarter past hour with the Whittington and St. Michael's chime, they sound exactly the same because they have the same amount of notes on the quarter past hour. They have, I believe it's 8 notes on the quarter past, but for the St. Michael's, which is my most favorite, it has, I believe it's 8, 16, 24, and 32 notes on the hour. 32 notes exactly on the hour, plus whatever hour, depending on what time it is. It also, what that means, if it was 1 o'clock, it would include, if it was 1 o'clock, it would strike the hour, which will make it, because 32 plus 1 would be 33 notes in total. And if it was 12 o'clock, of course, the most notes it will get, plus with the hour, would be, I believe it's 44 notes, because if you add 32 plus 12, that would be 44, because 32 plus 12 equals 44. I've miscounted exactly, I don't know exactly how long this clock since I've last wound. I think it's actually been going for like maybe almost like 2 to 3 weeks actually, maybe about actually 2.5. So again, the Whittington and the St. Michael chime are my favorite because the thing I like is that it lasts for a long extended period. The chime that has the longer the chime, the longer the chime lasts each verse, the more the chime will be my favorite, and the less longer it lasts, the least favorite the chime will be my favorite. The least favorite the chime will be. So again, let me just go back to drawing board and repeat this. The least, the less time the chime lasts as when it plays. So the less time, excuse me, goodness me, the shorter the time lasts with out of the melodies as the melody plays, the less favorite the chime will be. I believe the Westminster would be my least favorite because it only lasts for a short period of time. It has 4, 8, 12, and 16 notes. It doesn't have like a bonus like where it's double a notes like the St. Michael chime. I don't know if the Whittington does have double a notes just like the St. Michael, but all I know is that there's 8 notes on the quarter pass and they have the same melody. Some grandfather clocks have different chimes. Some have the Winchester, Whittington, and the Westminster chime, and some have the Ave Maria, Beethoven's knife, and the Westminster chime. To me, if to the grandfather clocks that have the what's it called? Hold on, let me just think what it's called. The Ave Maria, Beethoven knife, and the Westminster setup. I believe the Beethoven's knife is my favorite. Or you could say, I mean, what's it called? I know there's 2 names you can call it. The Beethoven's knife, you can also call it Ode to Joy as its nickname, I believe. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below. And some other grandfather clocks, the tubular chimes grandfather clocks, here's what I mean. A tubular chime grandfather clock are those kind of grandfather clocks that have like a tube on the wall of the grandfather clock. I believe the chimes it would have would be the Canterbury, Whittington, and Westminster chimes. I believe. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly because I don't know if it's because I'm kind of getting a little. They're like it's kind of mixed up. Again, I have to actually wait till the weights reach the bottom to see how long this clock has been running. It's supposed to last for about 1 week, which is 7 days. Again, the Whittington and the St. Michael is my favorite. Again, as I said, the longer the chime lasts as it plays, the more the chime will be my favorite. Again, it's the St. Michael's chime and the Whittington chime, which is my favorite. Actually, right now I have it on Westminster because every time I like switch the chime, it always plays. Switch at the same. Okay. By the way, I got this grandfather clock about maybe like 4 to 6 years ago, I believe. As you could see, the door is broke. Actually, it's because as I said a long time ago, this clock fell on me because I was trying to move it downstairs myself in one person. I should have been actually more careful and smart about that. Well, guys, I believe that should be about it. YouTubers, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, rate, like, and dislike. Comment below. Be an Norton fan, as you always know it. Peace out. Any last words for me to say? Don't think I have anything else to say, YouTubers. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on Sunday.